Okay, it's 1 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. See, we have 4 board members here, so we've got enough for our quorum. First item on the agenda will be the approval of minutes. Everybody get a chance to read them? Any corrections or motion to approve or whatever?
Motion approved.
Motion approved by John Carroll, second by Rick Zimmerman. Josh Zimmerman. I talked myself right into that. Sorry, Josh. I hate myself. Okay.
They're all 4 J names today.
Yeah. I have no chance to get through this meeting. I'll say that now. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay. Any, we receive project customer questions, limited 3 minutes each. Do we have anybody? I don't see anyone here. So, moving right along. Doing approval of claims. Nate's not here. I've got in front of me the payroll to sign. We've got from June 1 to June 30th. Anybody get a chance to review those online?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion to approve. Motion's carried.
Can you tell me the amount? I didn't get an email on it.
The total pay amount, or I see 7173.95.
That sounds about right.
Oh, they give you 11,000.
That was
Gross.
gross.
11,825.28 was the gross.
Yeah, okay, that's.
Okay,
Did we do gross or net?
I think normally she.
we
goes
approved them
to
both. Okay,
They use different numbers as well.
vouchers to sign. Everybody has reviewed those, I assume? Hello, Dion.
Sorry for being late.
Not to worry. We have check register 207-223-77.
Repeat that one more time.
Sure. Checking account, well, we have, it's EFT check count and the regular check count. They total $207,223.77.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Motion approved.
John Carroll,
John Summers.
John Summers, all in favor, aye. Opposed? Okay, carried. I think that's all.
SRF.
You know, SRF?
No, but we have Ben's invoice that we're submitting to SRF, is that right? And did you want to have them approve that now?
I guess.
So,
Consider it's gonna take a while.
so I had emailed the Commonwealth invoice. And the total was $29,840. Correct,
No change? No, no pennies, just round,
correct.
okay? Okay, motion to approve or any questions on the Commonwealth submission? That went out? We're approving their request, $29,840.
Project 6 engineering.
Motion
Motion to approve.
A second.
All in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion carried, approved. Is that our financials now, as far as we know? Anything else?
Correct. I put that in the email as well, that Becky was unable to get us the bank report,
yes.
so that'll be next month.
Yes. Totally understand. Okay, it looks like we go to district superintendent report. That'll be you, Nathan.
Is it?
Yeah.
Pretty much everything's been going pretty good. The last couple weeks have, oh, I use pretty good loosely. Been kind of hectic without Jane in the office. Trying to get things done outside the office, plus keeping the office going. We still have some guys doing some connections. We're moving along with that, getting, what, Noah, 2 or 3, 4 done a week probably now. I mean, we got with the contractors that are our main guys that are doing it, and I asked for a list of still to connect. I think that once we get that from them, we will go through our list on the individuals that aren't with those 2 contractors that do most of them. And maybe get letters sent out and say, where you at? You have a contractor, why isn't this done yet? So that's kind of the next step on those. There's not that many left. I mean, Winchester's all done now. Or is there one left?
There's 1 or 2 maybe.
Okay. Magley, there's still some out there that needs done. And then Clem's Lake South, there's still a handful or more out there. But a couple people are waiting on contractors. Then we just need to get with those other individuals that we don't have. They might have had somebody wrote down on it, but they might not be doing it now. So for those ones that they are reaching out to other contractors, for the ones that have contacted me, like, look, we've been trying to get them to come out and do it. I said, we'll call someone else. So start pursuing that a little bit here soon. We've been having some issues out at Arcadia, the lift stations. We had some gases get into that panel, and I think we've spent a couple days now in total stripping wires and rewiring the whole thing. And we're chasing a problem that sometimes we can't find. So we've been working on that. There's been some after hours stuff on that. When that thing goes out, that's a very important lift station. So I have talked with Ben a little bit about it, about future projects. That's panel is 9 years old.
Yeah, I suggested that Nathan get a price to either rebuild it or replace it. It's not our standard design anymore. It's one of our oldest designs. And at some point, we're gonna swap out everything over there.
Can't you keep the gas from getting in the panels?
We're good now, I think.
We're good now. So before my time, they had some issues out there, and I don't know, and I'm not naming names or not pointing fingers, but they took the packing out of the 1-2. And when that happened, we were unaware of it. See, those are plumbed straight in, where all of the new ones have an air gap like we do our panels underneath, and then they put the skirting on so there's no gases getting in. Well, there's gases getting in, and you got all them little wires, and you just go in there. And when we first had the problem, both of us went out there where he started grabbing wires and they were just snapping right off. Well, every relay and contactor and wire in there has had those gas. I mean, it's lift station gas, so it's a little bit different than just a manhole. So when those pumps turn on, they really get them gases moving, and going right into that panel. So that being said, we've changed some stuff out. We've pretty much rewired the whole thing, but we're still running into some issues. So, I mean, I think this morning you went out there and one relay's clicking on and off the whole time. So, it's just like we find a problem, we fix it, and there's another one that starts. So, and that's what happened out at Monmouth. They had switched that panel out to our panel that we have everywhere. So right now, Pleasant Mills and Arcadia are the only two that are on the old system. Monmouth has been replaced.
They can rebuild it.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, you can use the structure that's there, but anymore,
You just replace the guts.
my goal is there, so that's got the drivers in it.
Right.
And we have extra drivers. So when I reached out to the company that designs all of our other ones, can we reuse those drivers? Now, am I also putting myself in a situation there if the gases are eating up? What has it done to the drivers that are in there? Now, I do have one in the shop on hand as a backup. So, okay, if we don't have to buy one of them or keep that one as a backup, but be able to use the same type of drivers. So that's my discussion with the builder of them is get me a price and can we use what we already have? I mean, the one's only 3 years old that we put in there. And the one that blew up in my face right when I first started, we had to order one and it wasn't gonna be here for like 6 months. So we ended up ordering another one, overnighted it. And so now we have 2 of them. Those aren't cheap. So I'd like to use them if we can. So just kind of something we're doing. And then we had the power outage out at Magley, which fried our whole mission system out there when all the telephone poles blew over. We warrantied that out, got that switched and fixed finally.
Warranty did that.
Oh yeah. And then,
Within 5 days warranty being out, I believe.
yeah, happened, perfect timing if it was gonna happen. I did have to order some air conditioner, computer system circuit boards. Pleasant Mills went out when it was real hot and blowing hot air into that panel, so I ended up just ordering 2 of them. That's the second one we've changed. I'd rather have one on hand. Those air conditioners are vital for those lift stations. So just been a lot of just petty stuff here lately. A lot of time consuming stuff that just takes a while and it's been hot. So we've been out there working in this crap and trying not to fall over and heat exhaustion. So, we did get all the testing done out at the golf course on our line. They did have one gravity line that did fail. But we got it fixed and it ended up passing. We vacuum tested all the manholes and pressure tested all the lines and everything passed. So we did do the core through the manhole. That all looked really good. I was very happy with that. I mean, it took them a day, but they hit it right where they needed to hit. So I did reach out to them about having whoever the owners are of that line is having that manhole sealed. That's out there, have them coated, because that is where the force main on 750 dumps in for those group of houses to the west. And then we'll have all that. So the gases are starting to eat up that manhole a little bit. So did reach out to them and say that needs done as part of an agreement to hook up to us. Other than that, just little stuff here and there. Jane will be out for right now, according her next appointment is 4 weeks out. So I'm out for her for another 4 weeks. She is doing some of the billing from home. We're able to go down there and take the bills to her, but we sent out the new bills and some of the checks hadn't cleared. So people are getting last month's payment on there, even though they paid. And so it's been a lot of phone calls. It's working. It's not the greatest, but it's working. So it's just hard to be in the office and then go out and when we got issues to manage both areas and keep our customers happy. So, but we're getting through it. Putting a lot more on Noah, getting stuff done out there that way. So he's been handling all the inspections and maintenance and stuff like that. Any major problems, I try to go out and talk with contractors and get things squared away,
What
decisions
about
made.
maintenance?
That's. We're going out on the calls that the alarms are going off, we're getting the maintenance done.
Maybe the air release on the old.
So the air releases, we have gone through all of them already. So something that we did too was, we had, the GIS, we're locating every manhole on every, and it's either an air release or a flush valve. And Noah went out, pumped every one of them out, located them, put the dot on them, checked them. We did have those 2 that were leaking, 3 that were leaking. We still have 1 we gotta take care of, but it wasn't under warranty. So we had Fleming come out on the second one, and we ended up getting a hold of the salesman of the air releases, had him meet us out there, and it was a walnut shell floating in the water, sucked into the air release, and held it open.
Walnut shell.
And we got it off, tore it apart, and that sucker fell out right in front of us, and put it back together, and it works fine. But it was right underneath the big walnut tree, and that was floating in. When that water fills up in those, it just filled up, sucked in, and left her open. So it is what it is. I mean, it had to have fallen in there when they were putting it all together. I mean, it's not like we got those manholes open when walnuts are falling out of the tree. So just like that, it's just dumb stuff that just takes a ton of time to try to get fixed and cleaned up and pressure washed out. And we got to get in that. And I'm so ready to have our own equipment to be able to do it. We're not dealing with these problems as much. I mean, we're going to deal with problems, but we're going to be able to
It's a
fix
lot
them
easier.
that day instead of waiting.
To get somebody to come out.
So, yeah, it's a lot going on. It just seems like summertime, and there's, I mean, always something to do. I mean, we're staying busy for sure. It's just the type of busy I don't want to be fixing stuff. I'd rather be checking stuff instead of fixing stuff. But
If we replace those panels you're talking about,
just the one panel, it's the lift
Well-
station.
you know, what does ballpark mean if we had to put all new thing in there?
Like, just take that one out and put that one in.
30 or 50,000.
How much?
30 to 50.
Okay. You're plumb.
I don't know, it could be less, Jim.
Yeah,
That's a pretty significant one. It has VFDs in. Are those VFDs for phase conversion? Do you know?
Single phase,
Single.
soft start, basically.
Okay. So it's got a lot of expensive components.
yeah, okay.
Everything's stainless steel that, that.
So, so the gas just go in there and it's corroding that wiring and whatever metal in there, is that right?
You can cut the ends of the wires off, redo the wires, but the issue is every inside of every contactor, relay base, just anything that's conductive, whatever, everything's black, basically. So, yeah, it gets to the point where it's like you literally change every part component to this thing, or is it you upgrade it, put the newer to where we don't have to worry about the gases in the future with the nice air gap underneath it and all that stuff.
Okay. Any questions further for the district superintendent? How about our purchases of, we're talking about the truck and the trailer and where we
Truck's in the shop. Looks pretty.
Haven't scratched it yet.
Cabin chassis. Can't really do much with it. There's no hitch or anything on it, so it just sits there. Talked with Ben this week about it too. It looks like we're just waiting on the paperwork to be sent over, and then how we're getting the money or how we're going to disperse the money.
This was gonna be part of my report, Jim, but I just got an email right as I was walking in here from SRF. They've reapproved everything based upon the new numbers and the new quotes. And they are working on the disbursement requests as we speak. And the one engineer told me it was a priority to get them done and sent to me today. real quick, we had asked for like $930,000 worth of stuff. At the, and which we don't have $930,000 sitting there. But we do have $880,622.90. And that's gonna be, and that's across 4 different loan series. And we're gonna spin it all up. And everything's been approved. The mower, the trailer, the vac trailer, the little portable generator, the spare lift station pumps, service body with crane, miscellaneous fittings, and then the spare grinder pumps. So as soon as I get those DRFs, I'll have Shannon sign them. And then we can resend them down, and then we're either gonna get reimbursed or they're gonna send checks to us to pay for equipment.
And you said we got 800 some thousand that we can
880.
use to get reimbursed if that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
There's probably, rough numbers, 50 of it we spent money on already that we're gonna be reimbursed for. And then the rest is all new money, new purchases.
Okay.
So that is coming along. It's just, it's been like pulling teeth. I'm telling you, John, if I could show you all the emails and back and forth again in the last 30 days, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's government bureaucracy at its worst. So I got 4 people down there I'm dealing with.
yeah.
Get 4 different answers probably.
It's been a
Get
challenge.
5 probably.
So it's coming.
Would you say it should be done in 30 days?
I want to tell you that, Jim, yes.
Yeah,
I want it to be done in 10
Tomorrow.
days.
well, yeah,
you
I
know,
get
like-
that, but I mean,
Well, my concern is we got quotes, what, a month ago or more?
sure.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
how long do those quotes?
Well, it
Normally
lasts.
they're 30-day quotes, you know, and I'm just,
Yeah.
and is some of the stuff sold? I mean, I've already got a couple phone calls about, hey, we've had this sitting on our lot, we need to move it. Are you wanting it or not? And give me 10 days. I mean,
Again, the wheels of the government go slow.
Sure.
sometimes.
Sure.
Can we send the truck over and get the bid put on it?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I want to, but
I literally sent a text to Nathan, I don't know, was it Monday? I
Yeah.
sent it, cause she had hit me up and said everything.
I'm gonna have that today. I'm gonna send it to Shannon. It's Thursday.
Why
It's been a struggle.
We are approved, but it just takes forever.
I literally, John, have a second approval of the same approval. But it's got different numbers on it because again, we update all the quotes.
You must have good patience.
Well, it's been a challenge.
And the thing is, there's a couple items that went up a little bit, but everyone pretty much held their quote.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
So, I mean, just miscellaneous parts went up. Everyone else honored all the equipment and stuff like that. And actually, trailer went cheaper.
Yeah.
But that's the one that they said, hey, we need this thing gone.
How soon do we have to pay them? I'm kind of going with John's kind of suggestion here, that, hey, start putting it on, the money will be
The
here
only thing I
soon.
can say that, Jim, is when I get the DRFs, I'm gonna be able to see on each one where the money is being sent to, and then I'll know more. But we've given them vendor names, all kinds of stuff, so for all I know, they're gonna make out a check to Hilti, you know, for lack of, I don't know yet. As soon as I see it, I'll let you know.
And then the phone calls will start on my end. Hey, go ahead, let's get this thing moving.
Yeah. And that'll,
Gonna try to pay the vendor.
I just don't wanna put the cart before the horse, you know?
Right.
I mean,
I
go,
literally almost told them to order everything on Monday, and now here we are Thursday, so. It's time.
it's just a lot of money to
Yeah,
pull out of our account to all of a sudden, I mean, as wishy-washy as they've been, I hate to go buy a $100 and some thousand trailer and all of a sudden they're like, hey,
we aren't gonna prove
Again, they've approved it.
They've
one more
approved it.
time.
it. Yeah, 2 times.
actually, so I go to my congressman and after the fact, say, hey, they approved it twice, we had to get this thing. Are they gonna keep saying no? That doesn't make sense.
It's coming, it's just, like Ben
Well,
said, you know?
It's just paperwork.
All fixed.
Well, we don't know where they're gonna send the check to.
Yeah, that's
So,
where I'm at.
If we take money out of our account,
Yeah.
put on a.
Yeah.
A bed on the truck and then they send the check to the dealer of the bed of the
That's what I
truck.
mean,
I mean,
though,
then, you know.
They've never done that in the past
Details, but.
through us.
They've never done that in the past, but that doesn't mean they might not,
Yeah.
because they've asked for a heck of a lot of info on specifically our vendors, so.
So that's
That's
the,
rough, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I yield to you.
If I see a little more, I'll give Nathan a little more.
Yeah, I mean, I think as soon as we get that though, we get the stuff.
oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's-
I'll be sitting in the office calling and
Well,
getting.
you guys approved everything last month, it's just here we are again a month later, and it's the same.
The miscellaneous parts I'm not worried about, that stuff's available, it's the equipment that,
Equipment, yeah, they're holding.
We don't wanna lose
I've got
that
one
stuff.
sitting in my shop, but if that one sells, I gotta get one out of Canada and here's another 80 grand, you know, like, I don't want that.
Just the whole mess of the different loan series is just, it's complicating things too. Cause they each have a different number and it's tied to different monies and it's a lot,
Sure.
hopefully soon.
Anything else from your end?
The only other thing I was gonna bring up, guys. We did see in between last meeting and this meeting, the draft PPL for SRF funding for fiscal year 2026. And I'd gotten fourth quarter info and then I got first quarter that was draft. And in fact, it was draft through 7/9, which is today the
Yesterday.
10th.
Today's the 10th.
Through the 9th. So anybody that was on the list could have made suggestions or, you know, could argue about the spot or whatever, but I'm assuming then this will be again formally published again as their final first quarter PPL. But the good thing is we are ranked 13th. They have 9 projects in the fundable range. We're sitting right outside of it. The good thing is, just through Commonwealth, I know a number of the other clients. There's 2 other projects that are gonna go in a different direction that are above us. So that sits us back at 11 in my personal view of it. So we're just outside of the fundable range. And the other thing too, one of the projects that I know is not gonna go is a $30 million deal. So again, that's gonna then allow projects underneath the line in the sand to get funded. So we had a call, Mark, I, and Nathan had a call with Jeff Ralph, Baker Tilly, just Tuesday, yesterday. Okay, sorry.
It was Tuesday.
This week's going. Where we discussed the potential for the funding and I think everybody was pretty upbeat, including myself, that we will get some kind of number from SRF. Now, whether or not that's just a loan offer, some kind of other creative financing with some grant monies, I think we'll know by the end of July. That was sort of the timeline that Baker Tilly had outlined to us. And I committed to getting them, since you guys had authorized us to do the pre-engineering on several of the Project 6 areas. I'm gonna get a sort of a total project cost number if we would just do that part of the PER that we submitted a year or 2 ago. And we'll see where the chips fall. But I feel pretty good about it. I really do.
Will it be loans or grants?
Well, that's the only thing we just don't know, John. That's the only thing that we need to know. And we were gonna have Baker Tilly run some numbers on some math on, you know, if we were to get a package of X, what does that do for us and can we proceed with the project or not? So there's still some work to be done for sure, but we're sitting very good. And I sent an email on these guys, Shannon included, and I don't remember what I said, but I think we were ranked like
43rd.
Yeah, we were way down.
42 or 43 last year.
43 last year, we moved up to 13. So it's a heck of an improvement. Since LA's in the crowd, I know he knows that Wells County's at 15, so they're in good shape too, I think. Just so you guys know, there's sorry,
188 million, or what are you looking at?
90 some total entities on the list that were ranked. And then there's a number of entities on the list that aren't scored or ranked because they're going after some other type of funding. So again, I've said this over and over again over the years, there's tremendous competition for this money. So we're sitting in a really favorable spot, I think. And I do think us being, let's just say in another month or two, we'll be completely shovel ready, everything designed, ready to be permitted, ready to be bid. And we should be able to commit to SRF on a closing timeline that would be the end of the year at the very latest. And so hopefully that, you know, helps to sell us to SRF for the money. So I think we're in really good shape again. Now we're just in a sort of a waiting period until we hear more from the money people. So
And you would guess we'd hear by that sometime this month yet.
I would, Jim, yeah.
Okay.
Cause I think they just go down the list and see who's, you know, ready to make it happen. And there will be others that are either above or below us that won't be in a position to move forward. And we're gonna be saying we're ready to go.
Good.
So
Good
I
job.
think we're in a good spot.
Great.
And then how much money does SRF have to give this time? How much current money is available?
181 or 188 million. It's 188.
It's 150 in their fundable range.
150 million.
I thought you said yesterday.
Just in case you're wondering, the total ask for money is like over $1 billion. I wanna say it's close to 2 billion. So it's a lot.
Wow. Chump change for you insurance guys.
So that's really all I've got. We had gotten, I can't remember if I brought this up in the last meeting or not, but one of the projects you guys authorized us to do was to extend sewer up to the Winnicott Church and School. And in the process of doing that and looking at the routes and how we get back to our lift station in Sunnybrook, we were going right by Williams, which, you know, makes sense to try to pick up some of those homes. But then as we go down 1200 County Line Road, there were a number of homes on the north side of the road in Allen County, actually, that had at least wanted sewer service. We had at least one petitioner, and I know there's been a couple others that have set something up, field guys. I made an ask a couple months ago of Fort Wayne and the Allen County Regional Sewer District if they would allow us to pursue connections on those individuals, and they have tentatively granted us the ability to do so. They've sent over an interlocal, which I know I've sent to Mark, and if you haven't looked at it, it's no big deal, Mark. We don't have to do anything.
Oh, that's their interlocal?
That's their interlocal.
Wow.
Yeah, correct. So it's their proposed agreement between the two entities to allow us to sort of cross county line and go into their territory, basically. Because it's just like us, you know, we're a countywide, they're a big countywide too, so technically anywhere in the county, you know, they could go. But obviously they don't have any facilities any near that area. And nor do we now, but we could. So, again, something we'll have to cross off the list. So we push. Other than that, I don't think I got much, guys.
Question from the board for Ben? Okay, item next. District Attorney Report.
I have, I've gone through that whole agreement. I mean, there's some things in
If we
there.
got some changes you want
Yeah,
to make, we
there
can
is.
always push it back to them.
Well, but I'll just contact the attorney that drafted it. His name's on here.
So was it?
He's a young kid.
I didn't look.
What's wrong with young kids?
They're fine. I can tell by the attorney numbers. Barrett McNagney, it's Brandon Almus. I don't know if he's an assistant maybe for the city.
Yeah, I know that.
But yeah, his contact information's on here, so I can contact him. Just a few, yeah, I mean, there's a few things in here, you know, and I stuff that I would expect they would put in, but
First
probably,
negotiation.
yeah.
We can let them work on them.
one interesting thing is under the first paragraph, it says at no time while this agreement is enforced shall the district provide sewer service in the territory by exercise of any authority under, it lists the Indiana code sections that give sewer districts their authority. And it says, well, you'll do it all under our city code, city ordinance. And I'm thinking, well, why? So I've got a question about that, which raises for me the issue of, can we force connections?
Right.
And so my thought is if we can't require, a connection, then anybody that wants sewer service is gonna have to sign a connection agreement and agree to connect. So anyway, that was interesting. They state that, district will do the billing and will collect rates consistent with a county study. Well, the rate's gonna be whatever the rate is, and that's all supported by Baker Tilly anyway, so that's not a big deal. Says that we will not extend service in that territory without the city's prior approval. That's fine. We don't intend to do that anyway. But they reference that, the exhibit A is their territory, which is interesting. They've got the city of Fort Wayne and 10 miles. The city controls everything within the city's limits and within 10 miles of city limits, which in this case, this would be within 10 miles, I believe,
Yeah.
of city
Yeah,
limits.
I would think so.
But then it also references that they took over the Allen County Regional Sewer District, so they basically have the whole territory.
Right.
So, and it's just saying that we're not gonna go anywhere else and service anything else in that territory without their permission, which of course we're not gonna do that anyway.
It specifically references to
yeah.
guys, the properties that we had intended.
It does.
Conceivably service.
Yeah, so the exhibit B is the service area map, which is attached here, and it's, you can see right on here, it's all circled at each of the properties. It's literally every house that's, we're going to Williams all along this road here and everything that just happens to be on the north side of the road, which is the South County line road. And there's 11 homes.
11 homes.
11 properties. They're all listed on a schedule with their tax parcel ID, property owners.
Which I don't think we would get.
So-
Just because a couple of them are on farms.
Yeah.
They're all for them.
So probably we, want to probably have them all sign connection agreements and only connect those that want to connect. Now, the one thing it does reference. So the term of the agreement is 20 years with 5-year renewals. So we'll just have to make sure that lines up with our financing. Term agreement can be terminated, but agreement cannot be, neither party may terminate this agreement unless there is an agreement to purchase the utility assets in accordance with section 9. So then that's defined. So the utility assets would be any, assets that we would put in place to service those connections. The thing is, those assets include a main line and laterals. So probably our main line is gonna be on the Adams County side, isn't it?
That would be my take. And again, our main line would be our connection line between the school, the church, and our other facilities.
Okay.
So there would be no way we would ever stop that.
Right, no. And so, anyway, I kind of want to work through some of the language in there, but it's interesting. It says the purchase price, they can buy the assets for the original cost, less depreciation, based upon, the then current purchase value. And it says that we basically hire Baker Tilly to figure that out. But my question is, and I say, okay, well, what about the pro rata debt service related to the assets that are being purchased? So you don't want to, if they were going to say, okay, we're going to buy your facilities here for the depreciated value and you have to sell it to us for that. Well, okay, but what's our debt service on that? Because if we can't pay off 100% of our debt service relating to those specific financed assets, then the answer is no. And so, anyway, that's something that we'll have to kind of flush out a little bit.
Sounds like that's a lot of copy and paste from a previous one that they did.
Oh, yeah,
That was
it
part of the
it
original
probably is.
deal between Fort Wayne and the Allen County Sewer District.
Yep.
Was when they originally wanted to buy all the assets and assume the debt, they pulled that same thing, Mark, where they had They wanted the depreciated value of the assets, not what we spent money.
Well, but what, yeah, no matter what, it's just, we don't wanna end up holding the bag on, whatever it is, it is. But anyway, yeah, it's a good start and, we'll work on that.
I'll send it to them.
But we had that kind of same language, if you remember, even with City of Decatur and our
Yeah.
treatment agreement, we kind of had some of that stuff. But this literally is on the South County line road.
They ain't going
They
out
don't
there.
have facilities
No.
anywhere near.
Oakland's probably the closest.
How many connections would we have in Williams?
A handful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's only 4 or 5.
There's not many homes
Okay.
Where does Hoagland's stuff go?
for mine.
Does it go there? Okay.
Everything does. Zanesville and
Well, Monroeville's got their own plant though, right?
Yeah.
Monroeville's about the only, Monroeville and Woodburn. They're about the only two on the south side. But hell, from, sewer district extended all the way out to Poe and Yoder and all those communities are serviced.
So we'll see, as far as rate discussion goes, we're really, we talked about this in our meeting yesterday. It's probably the best course of action right now is just kind of hold, wait and see kind of how things come back here with SRF and this project scoring and what kind of funding or financing package we might get, because that may, that all needs to be, I think, we need to be aware of what can be done and what it would cost.
So we'll table that discussion to next meeting.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
I think so. I don't know if I kind of, from our conversation the other day, kind of got the feeling that as far as grant funds go, there is maybe very little, if any. It's kind of what I was hearing. What were you hearing?
That's what I heard, but I think that that's not accurate.
I'm hoping not.
Well, the only reason I say that is because one of the communities, just north of us on the lines, they have 1.6 million. So
In grant.
in grant.
Well, I know.
And they got a 35-year loan at 0%.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is what are rates, 'Cause if it's a 0%, then that makes it more doable, I guess. And I know, Wells County is sitting at 15
You don't like hearing that as a pain.
and this is the fourth go around, isn't it, LA? The fourth go around trying to get toxin connected.
And I would have a question for Ben. Ben, you said if anybody else dropped out, Adams County would move up. Would that also mean maybe Wells County would move up in the score?
Yeah, I think right now you guys are sitting 2 more spots up. Worst case. Could even be better.
Great.
Well, they were 15 down to 14, you think?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
But if there's another project that's gonna come off, that's a $30 million project,
I know 2 projects above you guys that are coming up.
Okay.
that, that could pull up, several $5-6 million projects.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get news sooner than we have in past years.
The one thing I'll just say for everybody's, just to throw it out there, our meeting in August is, it's like on the 14th. It's the very latest it would fall in the month because of the way the dates are, like the first is on Friday. So we're gonna have at least the maximum amount of time to hear information before we meet again. Just FYI.
In other words, we're gonna wait till then to decide what the rate increase.
Well, we still need to do something on the rates because we're bleeding money right now, but that's still a conversation we have to have.
We'll have all the information next meeting. Well, can't guarantee it, but
I think we.
we're setting, I didn't like the conversation because of it the other day, but I understand the conversation and it's for the best right now is to table this and we'll have everything ready to go come August.
When were we originally gonna start it? Like the first of the year?
September.
We were
We're
thinking
just gonna
about
put it back a
introducing
month.
the date.
Right away?
Cause we gotta have a public hearing.
Yeah.
So once we come up with a number, have the public hearing, so be October, hopefully. That's kind of tentatively.
So our next meeting, we ought to be able to do some active stuff on the rates. We should know hopefully how much money we're gonna get from SRF, and we should have the approval for our purchases.
Hopefully, we've already purchased everything.
Yeah. That'd be a pretty good meeting.
It'll be busy.
Okay. Any other questions for the district attorney or anybody? Any other matters to present from the board or anybody? Hearing none, we are open for public comments, limited to 3 minutes each.
I've only got one thing to mention. Before the meeting, Nate told me that, and maybe Ben could say this, they had 10 projects in project 6, 10 areas. And he said that's been winnowed down to 3. Now, is that correct?
That is
Which
correct.
would those be? Just for them?
It was the going up to the county line and pick up the Winnicott Church and School. And then there was 2 areas due south of Decatur on
100 and
east
200.
and 200 east.
Okay.
And 400 north or whatever that runs along the
And that'd be how much money on the, roughly on those?
highway. I can't tell you. I need to figure that out so I can tell.
They did get those down, okay.
The estimates are somewhere, but we've changed stuff since then.
Hearing no public comments, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. John says yes. We better. Josh, seconds. All in favor? Aye. Pose same sign. Settled.